Hello YouTube. This week I've got the keys to a 2017 Mazda MX-5 RF. Let's take a look. Here you have the 2017 MX-5, or what most people would call a Miata. This is the RF edition. Really aggressive front end now on this vehicle. This is the GS model, which starts at 38,000 Canadian. Then it's got a $4,400 package on it, which is their sports package, and that gives you these really cool BBS wheels with Brembo brakes, 17-inch wheels, and you get the Brembo brakes, and you also get these pretty darn sweet Recaro seats with Alcantara lined in the middle here, which is really nice. It says Recaro, it's etched into there. And of course, you do get the LSD and the GS trim. And this white color, which kind of looks gray in some lights and white in others, is pretty darn cool. And then you've got that Targa top, and I'll show you in a minute, that retracts. What you lose here, whenever it retracts, is you lose that top piece and you lose the back window. So that folds into here. And this one here, we can give you a nice view of what the interior looks like with the camera. No back seats for me to show you this time, but I will show you the trunk, because some people aren't sure if there's any space for anything in this car, because it is so darn small, but there is. It's not that bad. I think the back's pretty cool. It kind of looks like the old Z8 from BMW or the 4. I think they could have done something a little bit different with that exhaust. It's kind of boring looking, but I guess the GT maybe gives you that better exhaust. Pop the trunk here. And as you can see, everything is kind of lightened up and small, right? There's not much to this. There you go, you've got a trunk. See, it's pretty big. I've got a tripod in here to kind of give you a sense. You've got a little snow brush. I don't know, I guess if you want to drive it in the... I don't know if that comes with the car or that's just a press thing. Normally we do get snow brushes, but it's just funny because it fits so perfectly in here. And there is a little light for the trunk too, so if you can't find something when you're looking in here, not that it has really much place to go. And there is there's an access hole here for your jack and that, and you can stuff a few more things. If you're really packing it in, you can stuff some socks in there or something. So let's take a look at the inside of this. And it is a 6-speed manual transmission. And it's a 2-liter engine with 155 horsepower, which doesn't sound like much, but the car is pretty light. Fully automated top, just push the switch here and then watch it go. Doesn't take very long to go down either. And that's complete, and then we can put it back up. And it beeps at you when it's done. There you go. On the inside here of the Miata, well, it's nice and cozy. So it's pretty small, and you can kind of tell even with the camera, I think. This is it. This is basically all you have. Again, you've got those nice Recaro seats to look at. 6-speed manual transmission here, and this is the button here that drops the top. So you pull it up to drop the top, and down to bring it back up. So that's the button I was using. You've got 3-position heated seats here for both the driver and the passenger, and you've got 2 USB plugs and auxiliary plug here as well. Manual climate control, which is kind of a bummer. I guess they saved the automatic climate control for the GT, but you're still paying $45,000 for this car. So I think you know, the sport package is what you want. The Recaro seats, the BBS wheels, and the Brembo brakes, you want that. You want the LSD, which is in the GS anyways. I'm not quite sure what the GT is for. Some more electronics, I guess. You get blind spot monitoring on this one. So you've got your system, your navigation, entertainment system here. And this is a touch screen as well, but the Mazda's done it. You know, I've shown this in the CX-5. Mazda's done this, that it's not a touch screen when you're moving. So this is, you know, basically you use this knob here to move things around if you're moving, and if you're not moving, you can use the touch screen. But you do get used to the knob pretty quickly on how to, you know, flip through the settings and that. It's pretty intuitive, and the system is very responsive, as you can tell here. You do have a volume control here, and your favorites button, and a back button, and a mute. If you just press on the volume, that'll mute it. And of course, you've got a volume control in that on the steering wheel as well. There is a little bit of storage here, not much, but you've got a little bit. You can stick your wallet in there. Maybe a phone. My phone won't fit in there, but my phone would fit here in this kind of holder I have here where I put the key, and my wallet fits there nicely as well. You've got a couple cup holders back here, which are super flimsy, but they're there at least. And your CD player back here, and there's a little storage bin in here as well. You can fit your owner's manual, or, well, maybe not your owner's manual. I guess you can fit your ownership papers in here, and maybe some gloves or something like that. But you can, you know, the trunk is plenty big as well for that. And of course, you've got your dash with your tack centered, which is really cool. You know, that's what you want to be looking at if you're going on a track or something. Your gas gauge down here with your trip information as well on there, and you can cycle through different trips, and your maintenance monitor on there as well on that side. And then on the right hand side is where your speedometer is. And in this display here, if I start it up, I'm not sure if it'll show it. It won't show it unless you're moving. So what it'll display here, and we'll see that when we start driving the vehicles, it'll show you your gear indicator in there. It'll say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it'll tell you when to upshift as well. I think it also tells you when to downshift, but I haven't been watching it that closely. But it definitely tells you when to upshift. If you're just cruising along, say you're in 4th gear going 60 kilometers an hour, it'll tell you go in the 5th gear, and then it'll tell you to go in the 6th gear. And there is quite a bit of torque in this little engine. It's 155 horsepower and 148 pound-feet of torque. And it's a light car, so the torque, you can actually drive around in 6th gear, and it's perfectly fine at kind of city, kind of suburban speeds. Not really at 40 kilometers an hour, you're going to be in 4th gear, but if you're going 60, 70 kilometers an hour, you're in 6th gear, no problem. There's not much else really on the inside. There is a little light here, and you've got these super flimsy, really thin sun visors, and it does have a mirror. Both sides have a mirror, so that's, I guess, nice to have. But they don't move or anything; they don't detach from there. And really, it's a convertible, so the sun's going to be coming in the top anyways, right? The windows are auto down. You press auto down, but not auto up, which is kind of annoying. And you do have power mirrors here as well. Now, this shiny kind of hard plastic, it matches your body color, and I think it looks pretty cool, but it is hard. So if you're tall and you put your arm up here, you might get annoyed at the hardness of that. This is kind of like a faux carbon fiber. It's pretty cool looking, and this is all kind of leather and nice leather stitching. and you know, this leather stitching continues down the dash, and of course you can see it over there, and it does look really good. Remember, you know, the original Miatas were pretty darn basic. Of course, this is not a Miata, it's an MX-5, but it's way more upscale than it ever used to be. Of course, it also starts at $38,000, so you have that kind of trade-off. It's not in an inexpensive roadster anymore, but with the RF, with the convertible top, with the, you know, it's a T-top kind of thing, retractable. It's pretty darn cool, and it looks really good both up or down. So why don't we take it for a drive on some nice twisty curvy roads. First thing I gotta say before I get into anything and forget about it is the fuel economy in this car is pretty darn good. I'm averaging 6.7 liters per 100 kilometers, and that's not being easy on the car. There's not very many sports cars out there that you can have a ton of fun on roads like this, and then still you know, throw 20 bucks in the gas tank of premium fuel and still and get like 400 kilometers on it, which is pretty good. I think the only other car out there really that you can do that with is the Subaru BRZ or the Toyota 86, which are basically the same car. And you know, speaking of fun roads, so we've got I'm up here at Calabogie Road, and really curvy, fun road. Really, you know, get the car moving, and this is where the car belongs. It doesn't belong really cruising on the highway. It's kind of noisy inside with the top up, and of course with the top down, you've got a lot of wind noise. And if you roll up the windows and have the top down, it's not too bad, but it's still, you know, it's an open air feeling and an open air top, so you know, it's still got a lot of wind noise. But even with the top up, it's kind of echoey in here. Lots of road noise, lots of engine noise. And you know, that's fun for a sports car. You feel connected to the car. Well, this is where this car is really born to be. Mazda's nice enough to let me take this onto the track. So we're up here at Calabogie Motorsports Park, and we're going to do a couple of laps in this car, feel what the Brembo brakes are like, feel how the car handles around the corners. It does have, still has a bit of body roll, but it's quick. A good driver in a Miata can keep up with some pretty high powered cars. As you can see here, just coming into that corner, we can easily catch up to this Mustang. Of course, he's going to kill me down the straight. Even stock, you can see this car is really fun to drive. You don't need big tires. You know, really you just need to have a little bit of fun. Toss the car in, it turns instantly, and you can kind of slide it through a corner. Yeah, this car is really surprising. You can actually keep up with some pretty fast cars. Heel and toe is awesome in this car, really easy to do. And when you turn in, it just rotates. Just right on the apex, slide in the back a little bit, and on the gas, flat and up the track. It's really, really fun. Well, that was fun. This car is super fun to drive. You know, just ripping up those back roads and those curves. This thing is just a blast to drive. A little bit pricey, maybe at 45 grand with all the fees plus taxes. You're like 50 2,000 maybe a little bit underneath that. Looks gorgeous in the light. You see the way it kind of gleams and reflects the light there. It's a beautiful car and super fun to drive, and the really Miatas or MX-5s are super fun. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.